So you touched on something earlier, and we kind of just glossed over it, but you intrigued me. You spoke about platoon romance.
Yeah.
So you met your husband. Y'all were deployed?
Yeah. So I joined the Army in August of 2001, which is, of course, a month before September 11th, 2001.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a major transition. I mean, I went into the military. I knew I was going to be stationed in Germany, which I was really excited about. And so I was of the mentality of like, all right, this is cool. I'll get some money for college, and I'll go travel around Europe. It's going to be great. And then 9/11 happened. And, in addition to my, Army financed plane ticket to Germany, I also got to go to Kuwait and Iraq and even a week in Qatar. So where were we going with this?
Your platoon romance.
Platoon romance. And so I tell you something, nothing's going to bond you together as, a couple than a deployment experience. Okay? Like, that's something you got. And, for us, I mean, we were the first wave out there. I did my deployment 2003 to 2004. We had scheduled for 12 months, got extended to, 16 months or 15 months. So there were actually a lot of couples that came out of that deployment from our battalion. I mean, that's just what happens. It's, females are about 10% of the military.
Right.
And so there's a little phrase when you get deployed that you're queen for a year. All the ladies are going to get attention. So that's just what happens. And so it eventually, so there was a lot of couples that got together and got married. And then it was kind of interesting because from our first deployment, I was with the 141st Signal Battalion supporting 1st Armored Division. We were out of Wiesbaden, Germany. And they're now actually based in Fort Bliss in El Paso, where I live now.
That's awesome.
So I've been loyal to 1st Armored Division for quite some time. But like I said, a lot of people paired off. We got married. And some of them, first comes love, then comes marriage. And so then the babies came.
And the baby carriage.
Yep. And so then our husbands deployed on a second deployment, and we were all kind of still in the loop. So it was it was interesting. We still knew quite a few of the service members. So that's just kind of inevitable, and especially, like I said, we were the first wave out there in 2003, and so we actually convoyed from Kuwait to Baghdad. We drove all through. That was the time. Oh,
gosh.
Yeah, I went up there right about the same time as Jessica Lynch, if you guys remember that whole story.
I do remember.
So that was really raw, and we were just the first ones out there. And so it was especially, every deployment has, of course, combat and danger and stuff, but we were really breaking the mold. We were the first ones out there. I was at a lot of bases where they didn't have the bathrooms and the showers set up yet and the DFAC set up. It was just like
raw
sand and Humvees, bottles of water and MREs, which are the
meals ready,
packaged meals. Yeah. In the military. And so, like I said, that's really gonna not only bond you together as this unique shared experience, as a platoon, but if you carry that into a 40-year marriage, it can be pretty rock solid,
For sure.
So yeah.
And then he served. Did you say 10 years?
He did 10 years. He did a total of 3 deployments, and he saw some combat, and it affected him. So that's something that we dealt with. We definitely went down that PTSD road, and
it's a tough one.
That's why I really want to recognize the family members as well as the service members, because that is your life too. you know, and you deal with that. It's the whole family. It's the military family, you know, supporting that service member that works so hard. And so, yeah, it'll try your marriage. I mean, that's for sure, you know, and lots of challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For better or worse, for richer or for poor.
You know,
Sickness and in health.
if you're going to take those vows seriously,
Yeah.
you know, nobody said it would be easy.
Statement.
And unfortunately, there's lots of marriages that don't make it through all that. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, that's what happens. So, you know, got to be tough. You know, you got to be tough to put up with that drill sergeant and that first sergeant and all of the combat experiences. And you got to be tough to be the spouse
of a military member.
Yeah.
So I often say that because I'm a spouse of a military member, and I always say that, yeah, he woke up for 20 years and served in the Air Force, but so did I.
Yeah, for sure.
And life for the spouse doesn't begin until after the military career is over, right? Because as a spouse, when it's time to move, because they said so, we got to pick up and go try to make a home in the next location. And then when it's time to go again, you got to pick up again and you got to make a home at the next location. And there's never time for you as the spouse just to make a career for yourself because it's always unsure when you got to go. So I always say, yeah, he went, but I served too.
Absolutely.
I just didn't walk in the uniform. So yeah. It's a tough thing. So, you know, when we made the trucks, the first one we made, that truck that Chris drives, is a dedication to all of the military that served, all of the veterans. The second truck came out, and that's Rick's truck, and that was made for, it was a memorial truck to remember those who served and gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And then the third truck came, and what could you possibly do for the third truck, right? Well, it's the families. It's who's waiting to welcome those families home, right? Because they serve as well. So that was the inspiration behind all the three trucks. And so hearing your story, you were the perfect person for that particular truck. It was like that truck was made for you, because you were able to serve in both, and not only serve in the service, but then serve as the spouse. But then you had to encounter great difficulty of having to deal with the PTSD and all of that comes with it. So yeah, I'm so glad that we chose you for that truck. It makes me so happy and proud to see you in that truck. Thank you for watching that clip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more clips like that, please click here.
Or if you'd like to check out a full episode, click here.
And don't forget to subscribe to us on
YouTube.